Okay, so this is my transfusion video journal. The first week I wrote that I was shown the department and I wasn't very nervous because in Hamilton it's a core lab, so they have like different departments that they rotate through, so I already was familiarized with some of the people that I was working with. I wrote that I felt a lot more comfortable like going into a new department, knowing the people that I was supposed to be precepted by. And I happened to be with Linda, and she made me feel less nervous because she's also like been there for a while, knows what she's doing, she feels comfortable. She speaks English. So I had her like Monday to Tuesday, and then the Wednesday to Friday I did it with Francesca, and I found I was a little more nervous because she was like Quebec French, and I don't feel comfortable talking like French to French people. And we did a Kleihauer cap that had come in that day. So we did like the fetal maternal bleed for 2 different samples, and then had to report like the percentage and then the number and that kind of stuff. So that was fun, interesting. I started doing like PGSs and stuff on patients. They started me, like before I did those, they started me off with a couple like spiked samples, like what we would do in school, just to kind of get the hang of like back into transfusion and setting like your workbench up and stuff. So I did that the first week, and then I did another, like I did my first week of transfusion, and then I did my week at the Dumont. So while I was there, I didn't really do much for transfusion because most of the stuff they did at Hamilton. So I just saw like an overview of the department and like the machines that they were using, because Hamilton, they just use the gel for their antibody screens. So they kind of showed me how they do their workday, but other than that, most of my CBOs were already done at Hamilton, so I just did them there. And the next week I was with Anik and did my assignments because it was really busy, and then she spiked specimens because she had stuff to do like on the bench, like she wasn't able to like focus and then also have a student, so I just did that kind of stuff. I did a lot of like readings and studying and like reading procedures and stuff like that. Like the end part of the week where it's busier. So yeah, they didn't want to make mistakes while they were working because they had to talk and do it at the same time. So I just kind of did like the basics, like OBS, like group and screens and stuff like that to help them out. No, week 3. Yeah, I was doing like the inventory. Oh my god, I feel like I'm all over the place on this. Okay. Week 3. So basically, the 3rd week is when the obstetrics closed, so everything like came basically to a steering halt. Like everything had been really quiet in the lab, very slow, so it was a good week for learning. So I was getting able to learn how to like issue more and doing more cross matches with the tech, and I started doing like inventory, like so I would enter the units because it was all kind of scanning, and then they showed me what I have to enter like from the bag to computer, so I was able to help them with that. St. John's obviously like a lot bigger, so yeah, that would have been very daunting, I feel, but doing it in Hamilton where there's not as many like variables, I guess, made it a little more, I guess, what's a good word to use to describe how I felt? Anyway, I should have ended that long. I'm ranting.